Myself and my friends went to see The Searchers at the Criterion Theater uptown. We had just graduated that day from parochial school, the 8th grade. And I guess we were 12 or 13 years old. And we treated ourselves to go see The Searchers. We came in the middle, which was the usual at the time. You'd come in the middle and you'd watch the beginning again. And there it was in VistaVision, this extraordinary movie. And what happens? You go see a Western directed by John Ford, whom by that time I kind of figured out was this terrific director, and John Wayne in it. And by that time I put the two names together when they were both on a film. It was usually very interesting for boys particularly. And you sit there and suddenly this character, this lonely character, comes out of the desert or something. And he's absolutely terrifying. I mean, he's filled with he just literally acts out the racism, the worst aspects of racism of our country, and it's right there. It's right there. And you could see the hate. You could see it building. You could also understand how he could go that way. Doesn't mean it's the old story that Travis has a fantasy. What makes him crazy and what makes another person not crazy is that Travis acts it out. You see, so this man is acting it out, and he becomes obsessive, and he's a poet, you see. He's a poet, too. He's a poet of hatred, and he just shows us the worst part of ourselves that's coming out of the late 40s, early 50s. He just brings it right up to the surface, so we have to deal with it. You really get his character in the moment when they unearth a grave of a dead Indian, and there's some disagreement. They're discussing, they're arguing. Suddenly, John Wayne says, Ethan Edwards says, "Let's finish the job, do it right." And he twirls out his gun and fires twice, shooting out the eyes of the dead Indian. And he says if he has no eyes, he can't go to the happy hunting ground, so he'll be a wanderer within the winds for the rest of his life. So in a sense, what he's doing, he hates so much that he hates beyond the grave, that he doesn't want to give him the peace of his paradise. He wants to kill the soul of these people. Why? And he envies so much the soul that the young man has, Jeffrey Hunter. He just envies it so much. And there's this wonderful kind of love between the two of them, which of course brings out the line all the time, "That'll be the day." It always winds up with that. There's these lovable parts of this character of Ethan Edwards, and that's why when we were there at 13 years old watching John Wayne like that, it was quite a shock. And we heard that it's pretty good. I don't know if we read reviews at the time, but it was the latest John when the papers had it there, and it had a sense, a feeling of a vastness to it. We felt from the ads, a sense of something special. And so we walked in, and there it was. I believe it was only projected in VistaVision in 2 theaters in America, and this was one of them. And I've got to tell you, you never see anything quite like it. Yeah. The VistaVision image on this picture, particularly the wide shots of Monument Valley, and particularly when he shoots the wide shots and riders enter frame either right slightly below the camera, low angle on the bottom right or the bottom left, it is phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. You felt you were there. But Monument Valley itself is fascinating because somehow the landscape is like the crooks and the kind of like jagged edges of the psyche in a way, your brain. It lays out. It's like the film ultimately became like this wild, vast psychological epic that the landscape really reflected. And we didn't think of that at the time. We just felt it, particularly if you saw it in VistaVision, because you were placed within there. Those tiny figures in Monument Valley weren't that tiny in VistaVision, but the rocks, the rock formations were big, and but there was a sense of space and a sense of the universality of it. I was used to the showdown in the street, the shootout, and in a way I liked it. I just know that ultimately up on the screen it was simpler.